Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Today I rise to talk about a young Australian, Louis Rowe, who I met recently, and I felt that his story must be told, and I will continue to update Parliament on his story while I'm still in this place. The information I'm giving you has come from Louis' website and from my discussions with him. Louis began primary school at St Joseph's in Warrnambool, Australia in 1990, and after Year 6 graduated to Emmanuel College in 1997. After 2 years at Emmanuel, Louis attended St Patrick's College as a boarder, but sadly boarding was phased out here, so Louis entered Xavier College in Kew, Victoria in 2000, where he completed years 10, 11 and 12. Footy was the sport Louis loved and played during the winter, the Boarders having quite a strong team in the school league. Louis was accepted in the Australian Catholic University. On January the 26th, 2007, Louis and 3 of his best mates from school days had embarked on a well-planned trip to Thailand. The boys had purchased the appropriate travel insurance. The day they arrived in Phuket, they found some accommodation where they spent 3 days. Then they got on a ferry to the island of Koh Samui. The next day they decided they would hire some scooters to check out the whole island, rent them through the hotel. They offered their Australian driver's licences, but were just asked to sign a waiver and hand over their passports. No questions asked, they were away. Louis was cut off by a car that lost control and fell off his moped or scooter he was on at the Koh Samui Hospital. They found his injuries included a damaged spinal cord. The message from Louis on this is don't hire a motor vehicle of any sort unless you have the appropriate licence and check your insurance contracts. Louis lost the lower use of his body, his lower body, and was told by a Victorian hospital that there was nothing that could be done for him. On March 11, 2008, Louis went to India to try some stem cell treatment with Dr Shroff, who featured in a 60 Minutes program with Sonia Smith from Brisbane. Louis was away for 9 weeks. Sonia is a young mother of 2 and had the same complete cut spinal injury as Louis and is now standing with the aid of calipers and slowly walking with aids, but improving daily. Louis has returned to India a few times and he has steadily improved. The treatment he has been having is human embryonic stem cell HESC therapy, which is changing the face of modern medicine as we know it. Dr Geeta Shroff has developed the technology to isolate human embryonic stem cells, culture them, prepare them for clinical application and store them in ready-to-use form with a shelf life of 6 months. Further, this technology is being used clinically to treat patients suffering from various conditions, all presently categorised as incurable: spinal cord injury, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, cardiac conditions and many more. In more than 5 years of clinical applications in over 500 patients, the results are nothing short of astounding. Patients paralysed from the neck downwards have resumed function of their arms and are taking steps, and diabetics on high doses of insulin are now leading lives insulin-free. Dr Geeta Shroff has developed the only purely human embryonic stem cell lines that do not show any immune reaction in the body. Embryonic stem cells do not have any antigenic proteins on their surface and thus do not require immunosuppressant drugs. Dr Shroff's technology involved the use of just 1 embryo. During her laboratory research, she only used surplus embryos from an IVF donor who underwent a barrage of tests, including a complex medical history and genetic history. In conclusion, Madam Deputy Speaker, Louis left the Talbot Rehab Centre in Melbourne, unable to stand or feel anything below his waist. They trained him to manage life in a wheelchair and offered no other hope. Today, Louis Rowe can walk, slowly but surely. He can stand for at least 2 hours at a time. When he stands, he can feel the pressures on the soles of his feet. Louis can swim the length of a pool. He can lie on his side, lift his leg from the hip and move it back and forward from the knee down. He is able to slightly wriggle the toes of his left foot. Every day he regains more actual feeling in his feet and his legs. But one of the most successful results is that Louis can now use his bladder. He has that control. Louis, God bless you. I know you're listening, and I wish you all the best in the future with the treatment. It's unfortunate that young Australians such as Louis, have to leave our country, leave our shores and travel to overseas countries to get treatment that should be available in Australia. And if we, as an Australian community, look at the amount of people who do travel overseas to get that type of medical treatment, it's something I think we should put on the agenda and start talking about again, Madam Deputy Speaker. But to Louis, all the best. And just quickly to another constituent of mine, Alison Summers of Linwood. She's going through the same problems of getting the correct cancer treatment in Australia due to the delay by TPA. So